very much. Just as she said, Aplau is my home, born and bred here. And so anytime I have to come to Aplau, it's a special feeling for me. It's also nice to see very familiar faces here once again. And I'm glad to be here, let me put it that way. Togbi Amenyo Degbejani III, our chairperson for the day. With your permission, I want to cut it short to say all protocol observed. May 12th every year is actually celebrated as Florence Nightingale's Day to throw light on nurses, just as our district chairperson said earlier. Now, largely, we in Ghana we do a national lunch in Accra, and subsequently there is a regional lunch. Then the districts take up the program at the various levels. The team selected by the International Council of Nurses this year is Our Nurses, Our Future. However, the association in Ghana made it Our Nurses and Midwives, Our Future. If given the chance, I would twist it further to say Our Nurses and Midwives, Our Heroes, Our Future. For any country, or for the health system of any country, it's critical that citizens survive. It is for this reason that sociologists would always consider health as the center of the economy. Because if you don't have a healthy population, you cannot even be talking about economic growth. And one of the essential parts of the health system is nurses and midwives. The nursing profession is not just the backbone of the health system, it's also the lifeline of the industry. And even most importantly, in Ghana, we play integral roles in the health system. Talk of providing community care, support to families, patients, and the communities. Our role as nurses and midwives is multifaceted, and our contribution to the ultimate health of this country cannot be overstated. To be a nurse actually requires a lot of patience, dedication, courage, just like my name, empathy, love, passion, just to mention by a few. Even in the face of burnouts, nurses and midwives would always give their all and not give up. In lower and middle income countries like Ghana, nurses and midwives are often the only health professional a sick person will see in most of our communities. Nurses and midwives are therefore before life and after death. They are always there. The scientific underpinning of every profession provides that, especially in the health sector, that we make the health of our clients the ultimate interest. And talking about nurses and midwives, our future, it's a very passionate one. Now, when I keep saying that the nurses and midwives are the backbone of the health system, 55 to 60% of our health force population across the world, and even in Ghana here, are nurses and midwives. This means that without nurses and midwives, our aim to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, universal health coverage, primary health care, particularly in Ghana, CHIPS Plus, global health security, and pandemic preparedness targets cannot be met, particularly in Ghana, where the attainment of these goals is of crucial value and is already something we are struggling to achieve. And so, Togo Chairman, recognizing the nurses and midwives as our future requires deliberate commitment to invest in nursing and midwifery. The global strategic direction for nursing shows 4 key areas of investment. These include education and training, jobs, leadership, and service delivery. These areas are critical because the recent coronavirus pandemic has taught us that the health system cannot survive without nurses. When all others stepped back, nurses and midwives stood tall, even in the face of losing their lives. If anyone here had the unfortunate experience of being in a treatment center, we would have recognized that the only person you would see, sometimes for a whole week, would be a nurse or a midwife. The Future of Nursing report highlights the need to increase the number of qualified nurses, and I'm talking about our education, because the fact is the world is evolving. Even the profession, nursing and midwifery, is also evolving, and the importance of nurses and midwives is even becoming more significant now. And so it is important that we must increase the training of nurses and midwives to ensure provision of quality healthcare. This report calls for investment in nursing education, professional development, and continued support for practicing nurses. Sometimes we think it's just okay that somebody is trained and licensed and is at the clinical site working. But if we don't focus also on professional development, you create a lot of redundancy in practice. Now, one way to ensure that we are increasing the quality is to change our entry requirements for professional nursing and midwifery programs. Currently, there are so many areas a person can get to become a nurse. And if you see all the professions, that has largely changed. And so, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has made it an agenda that we are pushing that within the shortest possible time, the minimum requirement to be a nurse should be a first degree. Now, we acknowledge that there are also people already in the system who have certificates and diploma. The advocacy is that we create the avenue for all of them to upgrade themselves to attain this degree status. While we leverage on the existing relationship, all our training institutions have existing relationship with the universities. And so it's important to leverage on these things, build up the tutors and lecturers in these schools so that they become degree awarding institutions.